Hello and good morning, everyone. First of all, a massive congrats to all of you for making it this far in your study abroad journey. I know it's not easy juggling between admits, deadlines, bank statements, and a giant maybe Excel sheet or a list that's probably stressing you all right now. But you're surely closer than ever to your US dream. And today we are going to clear the fog around the two biggest steps: funding your education and acing your F-1 visa interview. My name is Latika. I am from Lorient Finance, and we help students every day get the right loan, the right guidance, and the peace of mind to focus on what really matters. Your journey ahead, your future. Whether you're still figuring out collateral versus non-collateral loans, or wondering if, saying the wrong statement might ruin your visa interview, this session is surely going to help you out. Grab a notebook maybe, or just a notepad, or just sit back and take it all in, because we also have Ranjit today to help make sure that we are all 100% ready for our F1 visa interview. I'll quickly start by introducing what Lorient Finance does and how is it that we are helping our students. With Lorient Finance, we help students make their dream of studying in the US a reality by matching students with the right education loan, guiding them through the process, and being with them every step of the way. We work with more than 17 trusted lenders, and some of our interest rates start as low as 3.39%. I would also quickly want to introduce you all to our biggest loan campaign. So, India's Study Abroad Loan Fest is live. All you have to do is apply for a loan via Lorient Finance, and you may stand a chance to win prizes and rewards like a MacBook, an iPhone. That's surely, I think, in your shopping list before you move to the US. And apart from that, every month, a lucky winner is selected to to enjoy a reward worth 20,000 rupees. And every loan disbursed, so every student that gets a loan from Lorient Finance gets an assured gift worth rupees 2,000 rupees. So yeah, it's not just one gift, it's not just for one student, but every week we are selecting students that will win a 20,000 rupees worth reward. With every loan dispersal, we are giving 2,000 worth assured rewards. Every month, a student will get selected to win an iPhone, and one out of all the students who get a loan from Lorient Finance stand a chance to win the MacBook. So that's about the Lorient Loan Fest, and I would request all of us who have joined today to, without any delay, apply for a loan from Lorient Finance. I would also now want to take this moment to welcome our speaker for the day. So we're also joined by Mr. Ranjit Kumar, who has helped who's the student success manager at GradZest. He has helped hundreds of students prepare for their F1 visa interviews and will be sharing some key tips from real life cases today. So thank you for joining us today, Ranjit. So, Ranjit, before we begin with the session, I would quickly just give a gist of what we are discussing today, and why is it that students are actually moving to the US? Why does US have to be or come across as the number one choice for students moving abroad for their studies? So, just to share a few facts here, in about 2023 alone, about more than 2.5 lakh Indian students went to the US, and it continues to be the top destination for higher education. While it's the top destination for higher education, I wouldn't say it's also the cheapest. Now, the quality of education, that is, over five of the top 10 universities globally are in the US. But it's not just about academics. The post-study work opportunities are a big reason too for students to choose US as a country, as a place to move for their, further education. Especially with the OPT and the STEM OPT programs that allow students to stay and work up to 3 years after graduation. Then there's exposure. So, students will be studying with people from around the world, building a global network that stays with you for life. Right? So I think the return on investment is real. For most US masters students, they earn upwards of 70 to 100 lakhs within 5 years of graduating. So, hence, finally, the US is at the center of innovation also, whether it's AI, biotech, finance, or data science, the opportunities undoubtedly cannot be matched. So, while it's a big investment, it is also a launch pad for a truly global career. Talking about the funding of the US dreams. So most students technically or usually rely on education loans to cover this cost. It's important to start the loan process early in the journey. And it's not just about money, maybe. It's also about, the peace of mind and having everything in place when you receive your I-20 and the visa date, the visa slots open up and the visa interviews come up. So hence, funding your US dream becomes a very crucial step in your study abroad journey. The types of education loans for studying abroad and the types of education loans that Lorient Finance helps with are secured and both unsecured loans. So giving you just a quick gist of what secured and unsecured means. Secured means you would need a collateral for your education loan, and an unsecured without a collateral with simply the fact with simply your merit. On the basis of your merit, you can actually get an education loan without giving a collateral to the banks or the NBFCs. So that's about secured and unsecured loans. Each of them have their pros and cons, and Lorient Finance can surely guide you on what fits your profile the best. Our team from Lorient Finance will surely reach out to you over a call after the webinar in a day or 2 days time. So I think, we'll be here to guide you with what fits your profile the best. Moving ahead, why does loan matter for your visa, for any sort of visa? So I think that is where I will need your input as well, Ranjit. Why does our loan matter for a visa interview, say? So if you could just help us go through it, understand the intricacies here.
Sure, Latika. So thank you for inviting me on this webinar. It's pleasure to guide the students with the F1 visa interview.
Right.
And coming to the financial things, when it comes to F1 visa interview and or F1 visa application, financials plays very crucial role. And I suggest all the students to go with education loan. So education loan is one of the strongest financial proof. And along with educational loan we can also provide the financial funds from family or any sponsor. Okay, so if we have multiple sources of income or a proof of funds, so that will make the application even more stronger. And for example, if we avail education loan, that means we are utilizing the funds from the bank,
Right.
and we are using our funds for any other business or anything, so we without disturbing our own funds, so we are completely depending on the education loan, so that we are utilizing the bank money for our education. So that is a one advantage we are getting, so with lower interest of rate of interest when compared to other loans.
Right.
And when the visa officer look at the student who is availing education loan, definitely he will be having a very good impression on the financial status of the student.
Right. 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 So to put it, in a very precise manner, I think loan is not just a financial tool. It's also proof of funds for your visa. So the visa officer, they, just want to believe and needs to be convinced that a student can support their studies while in the US. A loan sanction letter is often, seen as a credible, acceptable source of funding. So I think that's why your loan matters while you go for your visa interviews. So
Yes, Radhika, what you mentioned is correct. And if an education loan is approved for a student, definitely then the visa officer will determine that when the bank is ready to give education loan to that student, definitely their family financial status or the student financial status is very strong.
Right, right. Got it. Got it. Thank you. Thank you, Ranjit. So moving ahead, I would also want to understand, uh, because getting an F-1 visa can feel overwhelming, but it actually really comes down to very few simple steps. So let's just cover tips and for each step today. If you could just take us through the steps.
Sure, Latika. So, students will apply for multiple universities. So they might be having interest in or like considering multiple university programs, and they will apply. After getting couple of offers from the universities they apply, they will decide on the university which they want to like enroll. So
Right.
once they decide their university, so then they can apply for the I-20. So once the I-20 has been received, the immediate next step is to pay the service fee, which is $350, and that has to be paid using like fmjfee.com. So there is a website. So through that, like we can pay the service fee. So once the service fee payment has been done, so the student has to start the visa application. So there is an online visa application form. So that is what we call as DS-160. So we need to like fill all the details correctly in the DS-160 form. And once we submit the DS-160 form, there will be a confirmation page. So, and also like a DS-160 confirmation number will be there. So that has to be linked with the US visa scheduling account. So there is a US visa scheduling account separately. And in that, we need to fill all the details like which type of visa we are applying for. For example, like if a student is applying for student visa in USA, that will fall under F category. So we need to select the right visa option there. And once we select the right visa option there, and we need to enter the details of the university and SEVIS ID. So which is mentioned on the I-20.
Okay.
Okay. So after we mention the service ID and university school name correctly in the US visa scheduling account, and then we need to pay the visa fee. So
Hmm.
that is currently $185, and that is equivalent to 16,095 rupees in Indian currency. So once we pay the visa fee, then our account is ready to schedule an appointment. So once we book an appointment, so we will be having like a two sort of schedules. One is OFC. So that is we call as biometrics, where the student will be giving their photograph and fingerprints. And then after like another appointment will be there, that is visa interview. So the final appointment, and it will determine the visa application, and the visa officer will make a decision on the visa application on the interview day.
Got it. Got it. While you've explained it in a very simplified manner, and it sounds very easy, I think students are still really overwhelmed with all that gets, all the steps that they have to go through before they get their visa approved. So, I'm going to just open this forum for our students also who have joined us today. Feel free to ask questions in the chat. Uh, any experience that you must have had if you're just nervous in while filling your DS-160 form. If you need assistance with the same, feel free to write all of that in the chat box, and we'll also be taking questions today. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to hearing from the students who have joined us today. Now, moving further ahead, Ranjit, just if you could take us through the documents that the student should keep prepared, because I think being organized also makes a great first impression.
Yes, Latika. So it's very crucial to carry the documents at the point of like a interview. So on interview day, like we need to carry all the documents, even though the visa officer will ask for the documents or not.
Right.
We need to carry all the supporting documents at the point of interview. And usually, like when we go at the interview, like we'll be having some counters, and the security will allow three applicants in a queue. And once are done, like the applicant's turn comes, so the visa officer will look at the applicant. And sometimes, like the visa officer will determine that the applicant is a student. So if like the visa officer already conclude that the applicant is a student, then he will ask the two crucial documents, that is I-20 and passport. Okay, so then he will start interviewing the student, and he will ask some questions there. So why the student want to study in USA, and how many universities he has applied, and in which university he was accepted, and a lot of many questions like financials, and potential immigrancy check. Like they will ask a lot of questions about the student returning back to India, and a
Got it.
lot many questions are there. Okay,
Right.
and along with that interview, the student has to carry the documents.
Hmm.
Okay, so the student has to carry like I-20. So that is a very crucial document for F-1 visa interview. And he has to carry the SEVIS fee receipt. Okay, so the SEVIS fee receipt should be there. And sometimes like there will be technical issues. The fee will not be updated in their portal or some kind of issues. At that time, the SEVIS fee receipt is a crucial document for them.
Got it.
And so DS-160 confirmation page has to be carried on OFC as well as on interview as well. Okay.
Hmm.
And next come financial documents. That is very important document we need to carry. So if the student availed education loan, so they need to take education loan sanction letter. Okay. And if the student has already paid the tuition fee to the university, any deposit or like anything from the education loan,
Hmm.
they has to carry the sanction letter along with a disbursement letter, and also if they have the bank statement, they can also take the statement in which the amount has been disbursed.
Got it.
Okay, so and we need to take a bank balance certificate from the bank manager
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
show the funds if the loan has been already disbursed.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so if the loan is not disbursed, then a loan sanction letter is enough to carry as a financial document. And if the student is additionally funding from the family, then he has to take the statement from those accounts. So if the family parents are sponsoring, they need to carry the statement, bank statement of their parents in which the funds are there.
Got it.
And
Got it.
additionally, academic documents are must. So, which like on which qualification the student has got a master's admission into the USA. So, all the academic documents need to be carried. And if any professional documents like a resume, and if any prior work experience is there, they need to carry offer letter, pay slips, and all to prove their work. So
Got
the
it.
visa officer might ask any document during the interview. So it is rarely they will ask the documents, additional documents, but carrying the documents is very important.
Hmm. Hmm. So one of the students who has joined us today is asking, you actually happened to mention what is show money. So you happened to mention we have to show money to the visa officer, etc. So if you could just explain that a little further ahead.
Yes. So show money. Show money is nothing but to get the F-1 visa approved, the visa officer need to conclude, or he need to justify that you are maintaining sufficient balance in your account for your living expenses as well as your tuition fee. So, for example, like if the master's programs in the USA mostly will be 2 years, 24 months, or 18 months or something. So we call all the programs into 2 years.
Hmm.
So if we can show at least 1 year tuition fee and 1 year living expenses, that is enough. But I suggest all the students to show funds like uh, 2 years tuition fee and 1 year living expenses, so that the chance of getting visa approved will be high. Okay, so the remaining second year living expenses can be shown in the form of income. So family income over anything. So from there that the student can pay the or manage the living expenses for the second year. So for the first year, the student has to show the funds, and funds can be in the form of anything. It might be in the form of education loan. It might be in the form of savings. It might be in the form of fixed deposit. Okay, and funds can be also shown from the retirement plans of the parents also. Like if they are having any investments,
Hmm.
so they might be investing every month from the every month salary, so they can also show that. But the statement should be there.
Got
Provident
it.
fund, we call it as a provident fund. So
Hmm.
we need to carry the statement. And if you have any investments in LIC or anything, so we need to get a document from the LIC that how much fund is matured to be released and utilized immediately. So we need to take a letter from there. So these are all kind of proof of funds we can show.
So got it. Got it.
And I hope the student query has been cleared. And still, like, is if there any query regarding the same, so please let me know.
Yeah, surely. I'll take a few questions right away. There's a The same student is actually worried about the geopolitical issues that we're all facing currently. So we are hearing so many things about the US visa rejection because of the ongoing geopolitical issues. Is it a good time to apply? So uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So even though like a geopolitical, like every 4 years once or like 5 years once, like we'll be facing these kind of issues, but not this severity. So this time, like in 2024 and 25, we are seeing a lot of rejections, and so many surveys says that like 70% of the students are getting visa rejection for the USA destination. And when we look at the point of the embassy or like consulate or like a visa officers, what they are saying is like they are approving the visas of genuine students.
Hmm.
So that means like the student whomever the visa officer feel that is a genuine student, so they are going to approve their visas.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry
how
I'm
can a
interrupting.
student? Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm interrupting, Ranjit. What do you mean by a genuine student? Are people pretending to be students and getting a visa approved?
Yeah. So genuine student is nothing but like a student who has good academics and good intentions, or like strong intentions to study only in the USA, not any other thing. And student who is having adequate funds to support their education and living expenses, and a student who have the intentions to return back to the home
Hmm.
after their master's education or like bachelor's education, and
Hmm.
a student who have no intentions to settle there. So this kind of all things will determine a student as a genuine student.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So my takeaway would be that the student should be ready to convince the visa officer that he or she is going there only for studies, and they'll be coming back to our country. They'll be coming back to India, and not continue staying in the US.
Yes.
That's Yeah.
Yeah.
Have I understood it right? Okay. I still have a question, if I may just, go ahead and ask. Uh, b- it the US universities, they actually give the students an option to actually work there for at least 3 years, and
Yeah.
they also would have taken a loan which they would want to pay off as soon as possible. So I think the wisest decision to make would be to stay back in the US, work there for a while, earn money, get your loan settled, and then return to India. So I'm assuming that this is what the students would want as well. But to convince otherwise to the visa officer that we're not going to stay back to earn but come back to our country, I think that becomes a conflict of interest, doesn't it?
Okay, yes, Latika, so I understand. See, like students are investing a lot of money. So that is usually like almost like 10 times than the investment which is to be invested in India. So when the
Right.
student plans to study in USA, definitely the tuition fee are so high.
Mm.
And students will plan about the ROI, returns on the investment. So whatever they are putting on the master's tuition fee or living expenses. But here, the universities or like the government, US government will attract the international students by providing post-study work opportunities. For example, like in USA, students will be having two types of opportunities during their studies, so or after the studies. So one is CPT. So CPT is during the studies, and OPT, optional practical training. So that is after the master's education.
Right.
Okay. So like if the student choose STEM designated program, that means science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So they are allowed to stay in USA for 3 years after the master's education. So one is like for the 1 year, for the first year, they will be on OPT, and another 2 years. Additionally, they will be getting another 2 years of STEM OPT. So during which the student can work legally in the USA, and
Okay.
also like earn money. So OPT is for students who wants to gain practical knowledge.
Okay.
So the OPT opportunity has been given to gain the practical knowledge in the field of their study, and not to pay back the loans. But student is getting an opportunity to earn during the OPT, and they can also pay back the loans.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. I'll quickly take questions from our customers. What are the most common reasons for uh, the F1 visa denials, and how can I avoid them?
Yeah. So students, so once after their interview, the decision will be happening at this on the spot. So on the
No,
interview
the
day,
common reasons for F1 visa denials, Ranjit.
yeah, yeah. So I understand. And see, like a student will know that if the visa has been approved or rejected on the spot. So there will be lot of reasons for visa denial. So we might not know, like a student might not know what might be the reason. Because other countries will issue a refusal letter, they will state clearly for what reason the visa has been rejected. But in case of USA, they will give the same kind of letters like a 214B form. So in that, they will mention some points like a potential immigrancy, or the visa officer might not be justified with the answers the student has given. Okay, so coming to my personal opinion, we'll be having two things need to be considered very carefully before filing the visa application. That is a DS-160 form. We need to fill all the correct details, and we need to give honest details in the visa application form. And our answers should be also like a honest when we appear for the interview.
Right.
Okay, so based on these two things, crucially, the visa application will be decided by the visa officer.
Okay. Okay.
And so we have some key points we need to consider to get the visa application successful.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, so no one can assure visa application will be approved, but we can increase the chances of getting the visa approval.
Right.
And we need to take extra care in each and every minute thing when we are filing the visa application. So whatever the details like academics and financials, and
Got
their
it.
intentions after masters, like what they are going to do after the masters education. So what are their plans? The student need to have clear idea about what he is going to do after the masters education.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
and the student need to project his proper research why the student has chosen that university or program. Okay, so lot many things will determine the application of the student. And to avoid rejections, only one thing is a proper interview preparation should be there, but a student should not be look like he prepared with all the answers. He should look like he's spontaneously giving the answers there, and the answer should be very natural. And answer should not look like by heart, but by hearted manner.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So if the student give the answers in a by-hearted manner, or a prepared manner, so the visa officer will tell on the spot you are giving a prepared speech. So better luck next time. So he will give the same statement when the student look like prepared with answers.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So I see benefit in actually just being true to self and sharing opportunities and just sounding excited along with the visa officer, because too much preparation is also going to land us in trouble, uh, as far as I understand, Ranjit. Um,
Yes, so student need to prepare a lot of different questions.
hmm,
So student might not know like what question might they expected.
hmm,
So preparing a lot of questions is very important. Instead of preparing the same questions for long time.
right, right. Okay. Um, what are the chances of getting F1 visa rejected as per the latest news?
Okay.
Students are also being deported. Yeah.
Yeah, what based on the surveys or information I'm getting through the news and all, 70% of the student applications are getting rejected since 2024 and then. So before that, like in 2023, we have a lot of visa applications successful for the students, and from 2024 January, there is a decline in the visa approvals for the USA.
Okay. 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 It seems like a concern. Um, Another student asking, my UG was in a different course and the course I'm planning to pursue is in a new field. Can that be an issue for her visa approval? And will the visa approval find this, sorry, the visa officer find this suspicious?
No, it won't be a problem. So, like even mechanical engineering bachelor student got visa approval for his master's in data science, and even a mechanical engineering student from the bachelor's got his visa approval for master's in computer science.
Mm-hmm.
So all we need to have is like after irrelevant bachelor's education, the student need to have at least a relevant work experience in which the course that he has selected for the master's education. So if they have relevant work experience of at least 2+ years of uh, that is relevant to the master's program the student has chosen, so then it won't be a problem. So he need to justify the irrelevancy as well. So why he has chosen this irrelevant master's subject. So he has to justify the visa officer. Mostly they will get a question. So do your master's degree is relevant to your previous education, or like how your master's degree is relevant to your previous education or work experience? They might expect this question, and the student has to justify this question.
Okay, okay. Great, great. While we've taken a few questions and we have a lot more questions from the students, we'll actually just move ahead and take questions a little later in this webinar. I'm going to come back to all the questions and answer all of them along with Ranjit. But just moving ahead, yeah, let's just talk about the visa interview preparation. While you have, shared a lot with us already, uh, but it's all a little confusing also when I hear, a student of ours, you can read in the chat box also, they're saying that I may rather just lie about my plans of coming back to India, because when a student decides moving abroad, they also decide to stay there, work there for a while, because of course the money that they have to pay back is a huge amount, and yeah, they would want to earn a good salary after having studied abroad. So, can you just share with us what exact questions, so top 5 questions to expect while preparing for the visa interview?
Yes, Latika. So like top 5 questions might be, so like why are planning to travel to the USA? So this question might be expected if the visa officer don't know like the applicant is a student. So they
Mm-hmm.
might ask like, what is the purpose of your visit to United States? That might be the most frequent question. And next, if the student like if that is a student applicant, so they will expect a question: why this university?
Got it.
Why this program?
Got it.
And how we are funding for the education. So
Okay.
these are the like most
Okay.
frequent questions. And what are your like plans after the education? So and they can expect several questions about their academics and profession. So these are the most frequent questions the student will experience at the interview.
Hmm. Got it. Got it. And let's also quickly discuss what are the things that we should avoid doing and what not to do. A few things that I've already taken and from have understood from the things that you've shared is, we don't have to memorize our answers, because it has to come out naturally. It cannot come off as fake. We have to be prepared to convince the visa officer that, we have the funds to stay in the US for the studies, 2 year long studies in the US, and we'll be coming back to our country and continue working here. So we're just going there for good education and good exposure. That's all. So yeah, apart from this, are there any what not to do's that you would like to share with our students today?
Okay, so once we enter into the consulate for interview, so first thing is like we need to be independent and we should not interact with any person.
Hmm.
So we don't know like any of the visa officer might observe us during our like enter to the consulate to the
Hmm.
like counters where we are like giving the interview. So since then, and we need to be like very confident. Okay, so and we need to be calm, and like we need to give all the honest and consistent answers to the visa officer, and we should not look like we are memorizing the answers. Okay, so we need to instantaneously give the answer, and a lot of preparation for the interview will help to get the answers instantaneously, and we can no need to tell the answers in the US accent or something. So we can carry with the Indian accent. Language is not a big thing there. So the answers we are giving, that is very important. And the visa officers will not look at your answers. They will look at the intentions behind your answers. So that is very important. We need to check. Okay.
Mm.
So the visa officer will ask the question. So we need to understand like why the visa officer is asking this question. So then we can understand how to answer that question. And
Right.
listening to the question is very important. So understanding the question is very important before we answer to the visa officer. And coming to the funds, we should not tell the funds are um, belongs to other person apart from the sponsor. For example, if the parents are sponsored, the money should be belonging to the parents only, and we
Got
should not tell that funds are belongs to some other person,
it.
because if we tell the funds belongs to some other person, then of course the sponsor is weak, or we are using the funds for other sponsor. So we need to tell the funds belongs to either the student or their parents. And mostly students might not be having that much funds, because they might not be working or earning.
Got
So most of the cases, the parents will be funding for the students. So we need to tell the funds belongs to parents. And if the visa officer asks where the funds are coming from, so we need
it.
to have a proper source of funds. So for
Got
example, if the parents are working in a company or anything, so they might be having pay slips and all, they are doing a job and they're earning funds. So we can tell the visa officer, so my parents is doing so and so job, they are earning these funds. These funds are their savings from last 5 years or 10 years. And if the parents are doing a business, so these are the funds that are coming from the profits of their business.
it.
Okay, so if they are doing agriculture, so certainly they will be selling out the crops, and they will be getting income through the agriculture. So we can also tell the funds are coming from agriculture. It won't be a problem, because India is mostly based on agriculture.
Right, right, right. So we basically just not have to fall into the trap and say my chacha is going to fund my education, but just to stick to my parents are going to fund my education, and just share with them with the visa officers about what our parents do. That's all.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm assuming no more digging happens there. So I'll just take a few more questions of our students. So uh, a student of ours is asking, even Harvard is facing issue. Would it be better to apply to more than one country due to such issues and have backup funds? So is it a
Yeah.
good idea that, instead of the US, students should apply for other countries? Uh, what do you have to say about such comparisons?
So every destination, every study destination has their pros and cons. And coming to USA, USA is the first destination I can say. So when we look into the top universities in the world, so if we take top 10 universities in the world, so four out of the top 10 universities as per the QS World Ranking are from USA, and four are from UK, and one is from Singapore, and another one is from Switzerland or something. So here we can understand top study destinations, or the quality of education being provided in the destination like USA is top notch. So
Right.
definitely if we have if you want to have a good quality of education, definitely we can choose USA. But compromising USA for some reasons geopolitical things or thing that won't that will divert our goal to another destination. But if we strictly focus, and if we um, strategically prepare for the interview and crack the interview and get the visa, so we'll be having a lot of benefits studying in USA. So
Mm.
one thing, like Harvard is also facing issues. The Trump recently, I've heard this news Harvard University is not open for the international students. It will not be open for the international students soon. So that is what they are doing. But USA is famous for education. So if they are blocking international students to study at Harvard University, so they might be missing something. So
Mm.
because a lot of students from international other countries will go there and do research, and build the reputation of the Harvard University. And
Mm.
also so other international students will be missing an opportunity at the same time. So
Got
to study in a reputed university like Harvard. So we have a lot many Ivy League universities in the USA. So Those are like reputed universities where the admission chances are very less, like 3% or 4% of acceptance.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if the student like don't want to go with the USA, we have lot many other destinations. But
Mm.
when I understand the student requirements and when I see their interest, like a lot of students will be interested to study in USA because they are getting good ROI, and after education they are getting opportunities so easily. And
Mm.
US degrees are highly valuable across the globe.
Mhm. Got it. Got it. I'll just take one last question. Should I tell the visa officer if I plan to study for OPT or get a job after studying, or is it better not to mention that?
Yes. So after masters, doing OPT is absolutely legal, and you can mention that. And our students mentioned the same thing, and they got their visa approvals. Okay. So the visa officer will ask like, what are your plans after your master's education? The student can mention that. So officer, like, I would like to complete my master's in 2 years, and I would like to opt optional practical training for 6 months or 1 year to gain practical knowledge. So that will be in return like very helpful for me to land in a top company job. Okay, so opting optional practical training is absolutely okay. It is absolutely legal. So, and the visa officer might also ask sometimes, like, do you have any plans to work in the USA? You can
Mhm.
mention that, yes. Yes, officer. If I get an opportunity to work with any of the professor or in any research projects, like I will be glad to work with them. So to gain practical knowledge, that will in return build my profile and help me to get a job in a top company or like top position, and high paying jobs also possible for that. So
Got
we
it.
can mention that.
Got
So working in USA is okay, but it should be legally work. Like we need to work in a legal manner. So that is we have having like two opportunities for students, CPT. So CPT is curricular practical training. So that is given during the studies only.
Yeah, yeah.
So some universities will provide day one CPTs. That means like the student once start their classes immediately they can work on their study related with the help
Right.
of the CPT. And the student should not work more than 12 months on CPT. So
Mm.
CPT is limited to 12 months only. And
Right.
if the student work more than 12 months on CPT, he might miss the opportunity of working on OPT.
Got it.
Okay, and that will be decided by the DSO, school designated official, or the program directors. So whether they are having CPT or not. So if they have the CPT, then only they are allowed to work. If the program is not included with the curricular practical training, so they are not allowed to work on the CPT. And optional practical training, so that is the choice of the student. So the student can work on OPT or not. It's the student choice. But whereas CPT, the student must work. If the CPT is included in their program, the student must work. Okay.
Got it. Mm.
And on CPT, the student can take the salary or not. That is his choice, like or like the employer choice, whether the employer can pay or not for the student.
Mm.
But on OPT, the student must take the salary.
Mm. Got
Okay.
it.
Yeah, and the student must apply for the OPT at least 90 days before the course is going to complete, or like after the course completion also they are allowed to like apply for the OPT. So the student need to be aware of that. So in time they need to apply for OPT and or like
Got it.
seek for the opportunities. They need to look for the opportunities and OPT. So we have a lot of opportunities, and they are very competitive. The student need to build the skills, and they need to enhance their skills whatever they have in the field of their study, and they need to get OPT opportunities
Right.
to
Right.
gain practical knowledge, and the work experience they are gaining on OPT will be valuable across the world. So if the
Mm.
student have work experience in the USA, definitely when they return back to India, so they will be getting the job so easily, and they
Got
will be getting highly paying jobs.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, so answering your question, Deepak, you surely can tell your visa officer about your plans for OPT or to work for a while in the US after your graduation.
And
So, just
Deepak, you need to make sure like the purpose of the OPT or the work should be for gaining practical knowledge only, not for earning money. So you should not mention that you are working in the USA for earning money. No. So you need to mention it clearly to the visa officer. The sole purpose of choosing the OPT or work in the USA is to gain the knowledge.
Learn on
practical
the
knowledge
job.
only.
Right, right. Thank you. That was important for you to mention, Ranjit. Thank you for all the understanding. I think just before we end this session, if you can share if there's a dress code for attending F1 visa interviews.
So like dress code. So many like people have opinion on dress. The what we had. So like if the student is going for an interview, so he can appear as a student, or like he can appear there as a professional who is working in so and so company. So there will be some attires for professional work setting, and there will be attire for students so who are attending the university campus. So it depends on the student who is appearing for the interview. So he can be in formal and he can be in casual also, not an issue. So if the student is going on a casual wear, he can also get, and it should not be very odd. For example, like if the student is coming from fashion designing background, definitely they will be having a lot of options they can wear. They know like what to wear on what occasion. So I suggest the students who are appearing for the F1 interview. So if they have like formal wear, they can go with the formal dressing. Or else casual is also okay, but it should not be too odd.
Got it.
And the color pattern or anything should be very cool. So that will boost the confidence. So I suggest the student can wear any attire which they look confident.
Right. Okay. Okay. That was useful. Thank you, Ranjit. So, all you have to do is dress well, dress sharp, and go there with the enthusiasm that you're surely going to crack the interview. So, that would be all for the day, Ranjit. Um, I hope this session helped clear the fog around, your funding journey and made the visa process feel a little less terrifying and a lot more doable. So, chasing a US degree is not easy. It's not going to be easy. Chasing any degree for that matter. There's paperwork, deadlines, finances, and a lot of pressure. But the important thing for us to remember is that our students, you all have made it further than most people even dare to dream. So at Lorien Finance, we're not just here to help you get a loan, we're also here to make sure you never feel stuck or confused in the process. If you need support, whether it's choosing between lenders, preparing for your visa interview, or just having someone explain DS 160 in plain English, we're just a message away. Wishing you all the success, clarity, and confidence in your journey ahead. And before I sign off, I would also want to again remind everyone of our loan fest. So apply for a loan with Lorien Finance and stand a chance to win amazing rewards such as MacBook, iPhone, 20,000 worth goodies, and a short gift of 2,000 to every student whose loan gets dispersed via Lorien Finance. So thank you all for joining today, and I'll hope to see you all in our upcoming webinars.